Welcome to this channel ICloudXL. Today we're gonna discuss about why Terraform is so essential for your infrastructure development. Let's talk about what are the challenges we experience while we build infrastructure manually. One of the key problems with building infrastructure manually is human error. It causes security breaches, it causes systems failures. You know very well if you have built infrastructure in any data center. And it also comes challenges with scaling. Scaling up and down, both are challenging. And it takes a lot of effort to build a infrastructure, because you take requirement from the team and you build it and go back to the team. They will come up with their verification, and then back and forth operations. Finally you deliver that infrastructure to the team. So it takes a lot of effort. Sometimes it takes 3 to 4 weeks to just build new infrastructure. So the infrastructure as a code actually provide the solution for these challenges. So it allows us to define infrastructure in a code, and then because it's a code, it helps us to automate that infrastructure. We can integrate with CI/CD pipeline and also version control system such as Git. And because it's a code, again, it allows us to collaborate with multiple team members. Same project, different team member can work and build a large infrastructure. And it provides consistent same infrastructure again and again using the same code. And you can scale up and down very efficiently. You can build the infrastructure, test it, and destroy it in the same day as you require. The Terraform is an open source infrastructure as a code tool built by HashiCorp. Terraform transforms complex infrastructure management in a simplified tool. Terraform transformed complex infrastructure management into simple code. And with Terraform, teams define resources in readable configuration files. This approach makes infrastructure deployment automated, repeatable, and version controlled. Terraform brings software development practice into infrastructure management. You can version that infrastructure, you can review that infrastructure, you can approve it, and repeat the same process. So Terraform brings software development process into infrastructure management, which actually enhances reliability and collaboration. So there are mainly 4 key features of Terraform. One is declarative configuration. You declare what you need. You need infrastructure, EC2 instance. You just define EC2 instance, and Terraform is going to create for you. And it has a large provider ecosystem. Terraform supports more than 3,000 providers. If you want to work with any project, search in the list whether that providers are supported, and then you can start working. You go to this website, registry.terraform.io, and then you click on browse providers, and it's going to give you all the list of provider. You can search that provider which you want to work with, and you start working on that. Even if you don't find the provider, you can write the provider for your project. So you can version control that Terraform code and integrate with CI/CD pipeline, which is continuous integration and continuous deployment, and apply all the software development practices into Terraform code development. And state is the key feature of Terraform. When you write your Terraform code, execute, plan, and apply, it creates a state file, which is source of truth of your existing infrastructure. Even someone create infrastructure outside of your Terraform, you can easily destroy when you execute Terraform, plan, and apply. So these are the key Terraform core concepts. So Terraform binary, you download it from the Terraform site, and then it provides the plugins, which is provider plugins. You find out in the website, and when you execute Terraform init, it downloads that plugin, and then you write your Terraform code, which is a configuration file, and then when you execute, plan, and apply, it creates a state file, which is a source of truth of your existing infrastructure. And this is the very simplistic view of Terraform architecture. It takes input from the Terraform code you write, and then it takes input from the Terraform state files. Once it gets that, it creates a dependency Terraform graph, and based on that, it executes when it creates the infrastructure. And once you execute Terraform plan and apply, it's going to make a call to the corresponding provider, and it creates infrastructure for you, and it stores that state in the state file for the future reference. This is the time for the demonstration. I'm going to demonstrate quickly how you can execute Terraform init, plan, and apply, and at the end Terraform destroy, so that you can quickly start learning the Terraform and apply in your project. So here is my Terraform code which creates single web server. If you look at the provider code, so it just says AWS provider and region is US East 1. And if you look at that, my Terraform code for EC2 instance, it just says hello world. We can provide better name, but just for example sake, I gave hello world, and all of the properties of the EC2 instance type, AMI, VPC security ID, key name, and tags. Right now, first thing what we do is we execute Terraform init. Probably, I executed before, so plugin probably installed already, but it's gonna verify and initialize it again. It's already plugin is installed. It says initializing the backend, initializing provider plugins, and you see this is the plugin version, right? HashiCorp AWS provider and version 5.94.1. So if you look at what are the folders is created, .terraform folder created, all of the plugin software stored here, and you see this also created a directory for the state files. Plugin is installed. Next thing what we're going to do is we're going to verify any syntax error. Terraform validate. There you go. Sorry. Validate. You see, validation completed. There is no syntax error in the code. Next, what we're gonna do is Terraform FMT, so that it can indent the code. You can clearly check it. If you just do cat star, it's gonna give you all of the codes here, and then you see properly it is indented because we executed Terraform FMT. Then we are going to execute Terraform plan. Terraform plan, it's going to provide us the preview of that infrastructure, what it is going to create in the cloud. Plan, you see, to add, 0 to change, and 0 to destroy. And if you go up, you see all the plus signs are, it's going to create those resources, and we are not modifying anything, so it doesn't have any resources with tilde sign, squiggly sign, you see, and it doesn't have any minus marked resource because we are not destroying any resources, right? So there you go. We have Terraform plan executed. We are happy with it. Now we are going to execute Terraform apply. So once we do that, it's going to create all of the resources, but again it's going to provide us the preview and one more time to verify all the resources we want to create, what we are expecting to do it. That's very important. And you see the same thing, Terraform plan output, and we already verified it, so we're good. And we just say yes, it's going to create those resources. And I want to show you, you see the AWS console doesn't have any resources, and it should have no EC2 instance now, and it should create this instance again, and it giving me error messages because creating EC2 instance operation error, EC2 run instance blah blah blah, and invalid key pair not found, because this, it doesn't have the Terraform key pair. You see, it's giving me clear error. So what we're gonna do is we are going to create EC2 instance without key pair. Make sense? what we're gonna do is create EC2 instance without keep here, so we don't have to worry about what we do. We just put a comment there. Okay, now again I'm gonna run Terraform plan, because we are not intending to log into the instance. I think we're good. Okay, and now all looks good. It's going to create this instance. You see the some of the resources already created, and that's why it says now want to add. It's just adding some volumes and all other resources. So we're going to execute Terraform apply now, and if we go to EC2 console, we should see some instances being created, right? We should see it. So now we are in US East 1 region, because provider has a US East 1 marked, so we should be able to see the resource coming up. No resource yet. Let's go back to the terminal and we say yes again, and this time we should see instances created. Refresh. There you go. See, instance came up. It's creating the instance, and I will wait for some time. I'll pause the video. Once it is created, I'm going to execute Terraform destroy to destroy this resource. All right, so I'm going to pause this video. You see that apply complete. Even though it says apply complete, one thing to remember, even though it says apply complete, but resource, basically it made a API call, but resource creation is still going on, right? So don't think apply complete means everything is completed. No. So it takes some time to resource actually spun up in cloud. So that's what's happening here. You see EC2 instance still, it's a pending state. If you refresh again, still pending. Now it's running, but status check, it's still initializing, right? So it takes some time. All right, so I'm gonna pause this video and come back again. So now we see that in the console, you see instance is created and status check passed. That means instance is up and running. 2/2 check passed. If you look at the status check here, you see this system status check and instance status check. 2/2 means 2 status check. It passed. That means instance is running. Now we are going to destroy this resource we created, right? So what we're going to do is we are going to just say Terraform destroy, and it's going to ask for a confirmation. See, it's saying 0 to add, 0 to change, but 2 to destroy. We are destroying all the resources. You see all the resources with minus sign right now. So because we are destroying all the resources, there is no tilde here because we are not updating anything. We are destroying straight away. So we'll say yes, and you will see that this is going to destroy. The status is going to be changing very soon. We're refreshing this page. There you go. You see shutting down this instance, and it should be destroying very soon. It is destroying the resources. EC2 instance, there you go. It says destroy complete, resources 2 destroyed, right? So if we go to the console, even though it's a destroy complete, but it takes some time to completely destroy that resource. You see the terminated resource is terminated now, right now, even though you see the instance ID is still visible, but the instance is actually terminated, and it takes some time to completely go away this resource information in the console, right? There we go. Well, this is a very simple example to create resource using Terraform and destroy it. All right, let's go back to the presentation. Netflix manages a massive infrastructure across multiple clouds and on-premises using Terraform. This complex configuration spanning across cloud and on-premises and environments are defined in a single code base. This streamlined approach reduces the human error while enabling Netflix to scale their global streaming services effortlessly. You can build your infrastructure using Terraform in 6 steps. Number 1, you download the Terraform, which is an installation step, which is written in Golang, and it's a multi platform supported. It supports Windows, Mac, Linux, all other. And then you write your Terraform code for your infrastructure. That's a configuration. And then you execute Terraform init, which it downloads the plugin or provider in your system. Once it is done, you then execute Terraform plan. It's going to give you the preview of that infrastructure, what it is going to be look like in your provider. Maybe it's a cloud, Google Cloud or Amazon Cloud or Azure Cloud or on-premises. When you execute Terraform apply, it's going to apply that infrastructure. It's going to build that infrastructure for you. And once you're done with that, your project, and then you say Terraform destroy. It's going to destroy that infrastructure. So if you forget everything, you just need to take 3 takeaways, right? One is Terraform provides automation excellence. You can version control your code. You can integrate with CI/CD pipeline. You apply all the development practices for your Terraform code. And it provides consistency and control. Each and every time you execute the code, it's gonna build the same set of infrastructure. It's very consistent and you have control. If someone does manual changes to your infrastructure, next time if you execute Terraform plan and apply, it's going to go away. When you write your Terraform code, you are basically building foundation for multi-cloud, because switching cloud, it won't be a problem. You just need to write code for that provider and you're done with it. So you don't have any single vendor locking. You don't have to depend on single vendor. So Terraform will help you to do that. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, don't forget to subscribe. You must put a comment on next video what you want to learn, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.